Today, we're diving into the 10 worst canned foods that have faded into history. These products were once common in American households but have since vanished from store shelves. Number 1. SpaghettiOs with Franks. Introduced in 1965 by the Campbell Soup Company, SpaghettiOs with Franks quickly became a favorite among American families. This canned meal combined ring-shaped pasta with slices of hot dogs, offering a convenient and easy-to-prepare option. The catchy advertising jingle, "Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs," resonated with children and parents alike, making it a household staple. The appeal of SpaghettiOs with Franks lay in its convenience and kid-friendly presentation. Busy parents appreciated the quick preparation time, which made it a go-to meal for hectic weeknights. The product was initially marketed as a nutritious choice for children, claiming to provide a balanced meal in a single can. However, over time, its nutritional shortcomings became more evident. Each serving of SpaghettiOs with Franks contains approximately 600 milligrams of sodium, about 25% of the recommended daily intake for an adult. This high sodium content is primarily due to the preservatives used to prolong shelf life and enhance flavor. Moreover, the product contains around 12 grams of sugar per serving, often derived from high fructose corn syrup. This ingredient is added to balance the acidity of the tomato sauce, but contributes to the overall sugar content, raising concerns among health experts. The decline in popularity of SpaghettiOs with Franks can be attributed to increasing health awareness among consumers. As dietary guidelines shifted to emphasize the reduction of processed foods, parents began to scrutinize the nutritional labels of products more closely. The high levels of sodium and sugar, combined with the lack of essential nutrients, made SpaghettiOs less appealing to health-conscious consumers. Number 2. Canned whole chicken. Introduced in the mid-20th century, the canned whole chicken was an ambitious product aimed at providing a complete meal with minimal preparation. Packed in a 50-ounce can, it contained an entire cooked chicken submerged in broth. This product was marketed as a convenient option for quick dinners and emergency food supplies. However, its appeal was short-lived due to several key issues. The texture of the chicken was one of the primary drawbacks. Upon opening the can, many found the meat to be mushy and prone to disintegration. This made it difficult to serve in an appetizing way. The flavor was another significant concern. Many consumers reported a distinct metallic taste, likely a result of the canning process and prolonged storage. Customer reviews from the time highlight these problems, with many describing the chicken as unappetizing and far from the quality of a freshly cooked bird. Additionally, the visual presentation was off-putting for many. The sight of a whole chicken, often in pieces and floating in broth, did not align with consumer expectations for a meal. These factors contributed to the product's decline. While it promised convenience, the reality of its texture and flavor failed to meet consumer standards, relegating the canned whole chicken to the annals of food history as a curious but ultimately unsuccessful innovation. Number 3. Canned bread. Canned bread, particularly popularized in the 1970s, was marketed as a convenient and long-lasting alternative to fresh bread. B&M brown bread is one of the few brands that still exist today, often considered more of a novelty than a staple. The bread was made from a mixture of whole wheat and molasses, giving it a dark color and slightly sweet flavor. The canning process involved baking the bread directly in the can, which allowed it to be stored for extended periods without spoiling. This made it appealing for situations where fresh bread wasn't available, such as camping trips or emergency food supplies. However, the dense and spongy texture of canned bread was a significant departure from the fluffy and airy texture of freshly baked bread. Consumers often found the taste and texture unappealing compared to homemade or bakery bread. The molasses flavor was strong, and the bread's density made it feel heavy and less enjoyable to eat. Despite these drawbacks, canned bread had its niche audience, particularly among those who grew up with it and enjoyed its unique taste and convenience. Preparation involved simply opening the can and slicing the bread, which was often served with baked beans or spread with butter. Today, B&M brown bread is mainly a nostalgic item, purchased for its novelty value or as a reminder of simpler times when convenience foods were a novelty themselves. The persistence of B&M brown bread as a product highlights a quirky chapter in the history of convenience foods. Number 4. Canned hamburgers. Canned hamburgers, introduced in the mid-20th century, aimed to provide a quick and convenient meal solution. These pre-cooked patties, typically submerged in gravy, were intended for easy preparation. However, several factors contributed to their rapid decline in popularity. The primary issue with canned hamburgers was the quality of the ingredients. The meat used in these products was often lower grade, resulting in a significant loss of flavor. The gravy, meant to preserve the patties and enhance taste, often ended up making the texture soggy and unappetizing. The convenience of a ready-to-eat meal did not compensate for these taste and texture issues. Nutritionally, canned hamburgers were also problematic. They were typically high in sodium and preservatives, which are necessary for the canning process but detrimental to health when consumed in large quantities. This made them a less desirable option for increasingly health-conscious consumers. Consumer reviews from the time frequently mentioned the off-putting taste and unpleasant texture. Many people found the canned hamburgers to be a poor substitute for freshly prepared ones, leading to a preference for cooking hamburgers at home or buying them from fast food restaurants. Number 5. Canned macaroni and cheese. Canned macaroni and cheese, popularized in the 1980s, was an attempt to bring the comfort of a beloved dish into the realm of convenience foods. However, it faced significant challenges that led to its rapid decline in popularity. One of the main issues was the stark difference in texture and flavor compared to homemade or freshly prepared versions. The canning process, which involves high heat to ensure preservation, often resulted in mushy pasta. This texture was far from the al dente quality that consumers expect from a good macaroni and cheese dish. Additionally, the cheese sauce in the canned version lacked the rich, creamy consistency that makes homemade mac and cheese so appealing. The artificial ingredients and preservatives used in the sauce contributed to a flavor that many found unappealing and overly processed. Nutritionally, canned macaroni and cheese was often high in sodium and contained various additives to enhance shelf life. This made it less attractive to health-conscious consumers, who were beginning to scrutinize the ingredients in processed foods more closely during this time. The convenience of simply heating and serving did not outweigh the trade-offs in taste and quality for most people. Furthermore, as consumer preferences shifted towards fresher and more natural ingredients, canned macaroni and cheese became less relevant. The rise of better quality instant macaroni and cheese products, which provided a more authentic taste and texture, further contributed to the decline of the canned variety. Number 6. Canned sausages. Canned sausages, such as Vienna sausages, gained popularity due to their convenience and long shelf life. These small sausages are typically made from a blend of pork, beef, and chicken, and are preserved in brine or gelatin. Their portability and ease of preparation made them a favorite for quick snacks and emergency rations. However, several health concerns contributed to their decline in popularity. A significant issue with canned sausages is their high sodium content. One can of Vienna sausages can contain up to 900 milligrams of sodium, which is about 39% of the recommended daily intake. This high sodium level is used to preserve the meat and enhance its flavor, but it poses health risks such as increased blood pressure and a higher risk of heart disease. In addition to sodium, canned sausages are also high in saturated fats and contain preservatives like sodium nitrite. Sodium nitrite is used to prevent bacterial growth and maintain the pink color of the meat, but it can form nitrosamines, compounds that have been linked to cancer, particularly gastrointestinal cancers. Moreover, the texture and taste of canned sausages often don't compare well with fresh alternatives. The meat is usually softer and can have a rubbery texture, which many consumers find unappealing. The flavor can also be quite salty and less complex than that of fresh or even freshly cooked sausages. Number 7. Canned fish balls. Canned fish balls, a staple in various Asian cuisines, were convenient and affordable, making them popular in markets across the continent. Typically made from processed fish paste, these fish balls were packed in brine or oil to extend their shelf life. However, several factors contributed to their decline in popularity over time. One major issue was the texture. The high-pressure canning process often resulted in a rubbery, chewy consistency that many consumers found unappealing compared to the fresh version. The flavor also tended to be strong and somewhat fishy, which did not appeal to everyone. This strong taste was a result of the preservatives and the processing methods used to keep the fish balls from spoiling. Nutritionally, canned fish balls often contained high levels of sodium and other additives to enhance flavor and shelf life. These additives, while effective in preservation, raised health concerns among increasingly health-conscious consumers. Fresh seafood, which became more accessible and affordable, offered a more appealing alternative in terms of both taste and nutrition. Cooking and serving canned fish balls also presented challenges. While fresh fish balls can be easily integrated into a variety of dishes like soups, stews, and stir-fries, the canned variety often required more preparation to improve their texture and flavor. This additional effort negated the convenience factor that initially made them popular. Number 8. Canned fruit in heavy syrup. Canned fruit in heavy syrup was once a popular pantry item due to its convenience and long shelf life. These products typically featured fruits like peaches, pears, and cherries, preserved in a thick, sugary syrup. The canning process, while effective for preservation, significantly altered the nutritional profile of the fruit. The heavy syrup used in these products was primarily composed of water, sugar, and sometimes corn syrup, which added a significant amount of calories and sugars. For instance, a half-cup serving of canned peaches in heavy syrup can contain over 20 grams of sugar, contributing to a high glycemic load. This high sugar content overshadowed the natural sweetness and nutritional benefits of the fruit, making it a less healthy option compared to fresh fruit or fruit canned in natural juices. Moreover, the canning process itself led to the degradation of some vitamins and minerals in the fruit. Water-soluble vitamins like vitamin C and certain B vitamins were particularly affected. While the fruit retained some of its fiber content, the overall nutritional value was diminished compared to fresh fruit. Health-conscious consumers gradually moved away from these syrup-laden products as awareness about the health risks associated with high sugar intake grew. Excessive sugar consumption has been linked to a range of health issues, including obesity, diabetes, and cardiovascular disease. This shift in consumer preference was also influenced by the availability of fresh fruit year-round, thanks to advances in transportation and refrigeration. In response to changing consumer preferences, manufacturers began offering fruit canned in lighter syrups or natural fruit juices. These options provided a healthier alternative with less added sugar, catering to the demand for more nutritious and less processed foods. Number 9. Canned potato salad. Canned potato salad was marketed as a quick and easy alternative to homemade potato salad, aiming to provide a ready-to-eat side dish without the hassle of preparation. However, several factors contributed to its lack of success and eventual decline. One of the primary issues was the texture of the potatoes. During the canning process, potatoes are cooked to a point where they often become overly soft and mushy, losing the firm, slightly crunchy texture that is desirable in a fresh potato salad. This compromised texture made the canned version less appealing to consumers who were used to the consistency of freshly made potato salad. The dressing used in canned potato salad also posed a problem. Typically made from mayonnaise or similar emulsified sauces, the dressing in canned versions often separated or became overly thick and gelatinous after prolonged storage. This resulted in a less appetizing appearance and mouthfeel. Additionally, the flavor of the preserved dressing could taste artificial or overly tangy due to the preservatives and stabilizers required to maintain shelf life. Nutritionally, canned potato salad often contained high levels of sodium and artificial additives to enhance flavor and extend its shelf life. These ingredients were necessary for preservation, but contributed to an overall less healthy product. The convenience of opening a can did not outweigh the drawbacks of these added ingredients, especially as consumers became more health conscious. When compared side by side with homemade potato salad, the differences were stark. Freshly prepared potato salad typically includes crisp, fresh vegetables and a dressing made from quality ingredients, offering a far superior taste and texture. The homemade version also allows for customization, with families often having their own preferred recipes that canned versions could not replicate. Number 10. Canned cheese. Canned cheese, introduced as a convenient and shelf-stable alternative to fresh cheese, aimed to simplify storage and preparation for consumers. These products often consisted of processed cheese packed into cans, similar to the format of canned meats and soups. However, the practicality of canned cheese was overshadowed by several significant drawbacks. One major issue was the texture. Canned cheese often had a rubbery, gelatinous consistency that was far from the creamy, smooth texture of fresh cheese. This was largely due to the high-temperature processing and the addition of stabilizers and emulsifiers needed to preserve it. The texture was unappealing to many consumers, especially when used in dishes that typically require high-quality cheese, such as casseroles, nachos, and cheese sauces. The flavor of canned cheese also faced criticism. It was often described as overly processed and artificial, lacking the rich, nuanced flavors of natural cheeses. The presence of preservatives and artificial flavorings contributed to a taste that was markedly different from fresh cheese. These additives were necessary for shelf stability, but compromised the overall eating experience. Nutritionally, canned cheese was often high in sodium and contained various artificial ingredients to extend its shelf life. These components made it a less healthy option compared to fresh cheese, which has a simpler ingredient list and fewer additives. As consumers became more aware of the health implications of processed foods, the demand for canned cheese decreased. Furthermore, the rise of refrigeration technology and the availability of fresh cheeses in supermarkets reduced the need for shelf-stable cheese products. Fresh cheeses were not only more accessible, but also offered superior taste and texture, making canned cheese less competitive in the market. The canned cheese category included products like cheese spreads and sauces, but they never gained the same acceptance as their fresh counterparts. Brands such as Kraft and Velveeta, known for their processed cheese products, shifted focus towards more palatable and versatile cheese formats that could still offer convenience without compromising on quality.